Stephanie Atkinson, and I run the Conscious Mercantile in downtown Lynchburg. We focus on American-made product as well as vintage clothing. The American-made product is made by local independent makers as well as larger brands that we gather from across the country. I also run Live Trendy or Die. That's a women's affordable clothing store up on Church Street, the corner of 11th and Church. That block is now popping because Crisp is also there, so that's worked out really well.
I'm Dave Henderson, native of Lynchburg, Virginia, and owner of the Water Dog in downtown Lynchburg. I'd been in corporate America for 10 years. If you like conference calls, then you would have loved my job. Made some really good friends and some really great experiences in that old world, but really trying to get back to something that I was a little bit more passionate about.
So I lived in downtown Lynchburg in 2010, City Market Lofts. It was the only, loft apartment company owned by like a management group. Usually you just went on Craigslist, you found some apartment wherever, and there was 3 restaurants down here and a club that is no longer here, and no retail. Most of the restaurants and everything you see here is new in the last 3 years.
Growing up here, if you were to tell me if I could look into the future and say you'll eventually open a business in downtown Lynchburg, I would legitimately think you were crazy. And with all of the investment that the city has put into the downtown area, the city itself, and the greater metropolitan area, not to mention the economic development that's going on with Liberty University and the other surrounding colleges and the boom in industry and business, it's really a culmination of those things that I think have really benefited Lynchburg, and we're on this wave of economic development that is sort of unprecedented for Lynchburg.
Live Trendy or Die was a surprise to everyone because when I opened it, I was the only retail space on Church Street in like 50 years. I was also only 600 square feet, and the block, I still have a condemned building across the street from me, and the block was not developed. So, the thought that people would walk to Church Street to shop, people thought that was ridiculous. And that opened in 2015, and I'm still there, and we've actually tripled in size.
Seeing the boom in craft beer kind of blossom in Virginia. There are over 150 breweries in Virginia, and seeing Apocalypse Ale doing good work in Forest, and seeing the craft movement kind of explode across the region has been exciting, and it's been the opportunity that we've been looking for.
I do feel that we'll expand. We actually have leased a 3rd property. We will have a 3rd store in the next 6 months. So we have that. But also, I would say that the city of Lynchburg and programs like the Economic Redevelopment Committee, as well as Co-Starters launched in Lynchburg, Create Lynchburg, they really, really help people make connections and figure out resources.
And I knew with my friends and family here in Lynchburg that I could move my family here and with a little bit of gusto open up this business and hopefully make it all work. And I think, we've been fortunate enough so far that it has, and hopefully the community continues to embrace us.
We have people in here that are 24 that own their own business. The guys who make East Coast Candle, Calvin, they're very driven that way. And there's a ton of resources in Lynchburg that are really well developed, and a ton of people that don't care where you're from, like what school you went to. As long as you're here and you want to create organic growth, specifically in the downtown area, all of downtown is an enterprise zone. Meaning if you submit a grant and get all your permits, you get 1/3 of the money you spend back. I mean, there's a lot of ways to make your business happen here, and the community is incredibly supportive of that. I think so when people do these projects, I always steer them towards that. I mean, our co-starters program, I went through it and I own 2 businesses and I learned a lot. So they're really dedicated to that. So as far as the revitalization, economic redevelopment, launched in Lynchburg, all of these organizations are really key. I just encourage people that if it's the things that you don't think are going to make it down here that make it, and it's some of the stores that are predictable that don't. Lynchburg's really unique that way.